Today, we're going to be taking a look at how the stock market ended the week, including how things are looking when it comes to news related to the tariffs and ongoing trade issues. We'll take a look at the Magnificent Seven stocks, those top performers, the largest companies in the US, including big moves from companies like Tesla and Google that happened this week. And we'll also be taking a look at the upcoming week's earnings calendar. It is earnings season, and there are lots of big names that you'll want to keep your eye on. But before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, set it to all so you can keep up with all of my videos and live streams, and check out my referral links. All right, so starting off, the Nasdaq was up 1% on Friday, while the S&P and Dow also rose, and this makes their fourth straight day of gains. The Nasdaq was up to $17,383. The S&P ended at 5,525, and the Dow just barely squeaked by at $40,113, just slightly in the green. Why did stocks push higher? There's some renewed hope that some of these trades could be resolved soon. President Trump, in an interview with Time magazine, claimed that he spoke to China's president and that negotiations are in the work, that they are happening, and that he expects to wrap up things in the next 3 to 4 weeks. At the same time, China has quietly rolled back on some tariffs on US semiconductors, pharmaceuticals, and maybe soon medical supplies and chemicals will be included in that. So, all of this is a big deal because these trade tensions have been keeping investors on edge and negatively impacting our portfolios. Every time the talks and the tension is in the news related to tariffs, the stocks fall. When there seems like there could be a potential of some easing, the stocks rise. This has been the roller coaster ride that we've been on since the beginning of the month, and not sure how long it will last. We'll just have to wait and see how the 90-day pause is going to turn out. What countries are just going to eliminate their tariffs altogether? We will just have to wait and see how everything works out. Now, let's take a look at those Magnificent Seven stocks, which are Tesla, Google, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Meta, and Nvidia. These tech giants had a strong end to the week on Friday, which gave the stock market an extra added boost. So let's start off taking a look at Tesla. They ended the week 9.8% up, and this was not related to any trade news. Tesla stock jumped up related to the US government making a major announcement supporting self-driving technology. And this is great when it comes to Tesla because they've been pouring a lot of money into their robo-taxi plans. So this government push was a great green light for smooth sailing when it comes to Tesla's future, or the market reacted in that way, as you could see. So over the week, Tesla is up 23.84%, even though they did miss when it came to their earnings, which was just a few days ago. Now let's take a look at Google, who also just had their earnings, but their results were positive and promising. Tesla stock up 1.7% to end the week. Over the last 5 days, the stock is up 8.95%. Most analysts give it a thumbs up. When it comes to Google's ad business and their AI ventures, these things are going strong for the company. They've been making solid moves, but of course, the real question is, can they keep up this momentum long term? We'll be watching. Just to let you know, I have direct exposure to all of the Mag 7 in my portfolio, in addition to the exposure that I get from my ETFs like VTI and VOO. Onto Apple, they ended the week just up 0.44%. Over the last 5 days, up 8.41%. Now, when it comes to Apple, those tariffs, if that situation gets worse, Apple could feel the pressure, especially in international markets. Apple is a strong brand and definitely has a fan base and loyalty when it comes to the products that they Carrie, I know I am a loyal iPhone user, iPad, Mac, Apple devices. I think we can expect Apple's price to continue to struggle until the trade wars settle down. Let's take a look at Amazon, up 1.31% on Friday. Over the week, up 11.56%. Current stock price $188.99. I've been putting focus into building up my positions as much as possible while the stock market has been down, even though it has popped up over the last few days, still keeping my eyes open to the potential because, as they say, smart money buys value. And if these are positions that you believe in long term, we need to be putting in the work while the prices are still a bit beaten down. Analysts say, despite fears concerning consumer spending, Amazon fundamentals remain strong. Okay, so now on to Microsoft. End of the day on Friday, up 1.17%. Over the last 5 days, up 8.01%. Microsoft continues doing what they always do, dominating when it comes to AI and cloud computing, and striving to continue to be a leader when it comes to technology. And just like many of the other investments that are in this Mag 7, they are up on the week, but still significantly down from their all time highs. So there is still time for us if it's something that we want to buy and hold long term. Now on to Meta. We ended Friday up 2.65%. Over the last week, they're up 11.45%. Now, Meta is the parent company of big names that we are familiar with, like Facebook and Instagram. When it comes to Meta, investors are feeling bullish, especially with CEO Mark doubling down ahead of their earnings report. So he's been focusing on spending more money in order to expand and grow the business, investing heavily into AI and bringing new features to Instagram, Facebook, and Threads, expanding advertising, and building new products in order to stay competitive when it comes to the AI race. So, by spending so much ahead of earnings, this is looked at as a show of confidence that these investments are going to pay off and fuel even more growth upcoming for the company. We will see what their earnings are looking like in a few short days. And now, Nvidia. On Friday, they ended the day up 4.3% over the last week, up 12.46%. Nvidia has been a leader when it comes to AI. And between the strong demand as well as their next generation of chip advancements, Nvidia is looked at by Wall Street as a favorite long term investment. So, why do I take the time to take a closer look at the Mag 7 stocks? These 7 companies make up 1/3 of the S&P 500 due to the large market cap of these companies. What I'm saying is when they move, the entire stock market feels it. Their strength equals the market strength. And when there's weakness, that leads to market turbulence, that volatility that we all hate seeing. We saw some great numbers this week, but always remember investing is long term. But when you're holding something like Tesla in your portfolio, it's nice to see them having a good week, the best that we've seen them have since last November. But when it comes to Tesla, as well as the others, things are going to continue to be interesting related to what's going on with these tariffs. And even if they come through with solid earnings, we have to continue looking forward to see if they can continue to grow, stay competitive when it comes to AI. These are the questions that we're looking to find answers to every time earnings roll around. But when it comes to my portfolio, I believe in all of these companies long term. So let me know in the comments, do you think that these companies are on track to stay relevant, to continue growing? Are you holding any of them long term, or are you just sticking with your ETFs for exposure? Let me know. Now, before we wrap up, let's just take a look at the upcoming week's earnings. I usually repost the earnings calendar to my community wall when there are weeks with many notable companies like we're having coming up. So we have the heavy hitters, Microsoft, Meta, Apple, and Amazon. Fintech companies, SoFi, PayPal, and Robinhood. and other big names like Domino's Pizza, which Warren Buffett holds in portfolio, as well as pharmaceutical company Eli Lilly and Visa. So, this is all going to lead to lots of potential for volatility on the stock market next week. As far as trading, I'm not sure what the week will hold for me. I may trade some individual companies and not just be sticking to the SPY, but overall, definitely a week to pay attention to all of the upcoming earnings of these big names. So, are you bearish or bullish when it comes to the week ahead? Do you think that with all of these upcoming earnings, we can potentially have another week where all three indices ends in the green? Make sure to drop me some comments. Let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, set it to all. Check out my, ooh, sorry. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's thundering outside. Okay, where was I? Check out my referral links. Those are all ways that you can support the channel. Thanks for watching. Let's continue to stay strong, stay invested, and stay smart when it comes to building our portfolios. Okay, bye.